All right, everyone. Welcome to Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your host, DB Smiley, bringing you this A East matchup between ReGen Phoenix and Wholesome Halfwits. Wholesome Halfwits with a pretty substantial series of roster changes this season. We're seeing a very different Wholesome Halfwits team. A lot of players moving up actually from B, so you got a couple players from Die for Vision, who had a very, very good playoff run. You got Key from One Tricks, a longtime Division B healer, now stepping up, to the next league. It'll be interesting to see how they adjust. Going against ReGen Phoenix, a team that at times played very, very well last season, but in that hyper competitive A East division where you needed a lot of wins to make playoffs, they just barely missed that threshold. Looking to correct that this season, get to the playoffs, and hopefully we will start soon. As both teams, we're just doing some ready checks here, making sure everyone is good to go. As I'm just getting all the names and such set up, and looks like we're jumping into the draft now. It's going to be Towers of Doom is the first map. We saw ReGen banning out Braxis and Alterac. Wholesome Halfwits choosing to ban out D-Shire and Hanamura. As we jump into this Towers of Doom draft here. Season 10 now of the Nexus Gaming Series. It has been a long run. First pick over to Wholesome Halfwits, as this was ReGen Phoenix's map. Hanamura getting banned out is interesting, of course. It's the new map in the field, replacing Sky Temple. But still some very popular maps left over. Infernal Shrines of Volskaya and Tomb tend to be very popular. You see a lot of Cursed Hollow from the macro teams. And BOE, very popular. So I think we'll see some fun maps tonight. Towers, one of those maps... Wrong screen, you don't want to see me. Zulban, Wholesome Halfwits. Tower is one of those maps that can always be, can always lead to a very, very exciting ending. As we see the Ana banned out the other way. Key played a lot of Ana last season, played it fairly effectively as well. He had long time been kind of known as a Stukov focused player, but with the power level of Ana, he broke it in last season. Did fairly well on it, all told. As One Tricks finished with a top 4 seed. Did not advance in playoffs, but still a good season for them. Certainly exceeded some bald people's expectations at the beginning of the season. Speaking of, as we see the Diablo ban, preseason expectations, I had both these teams down in, or I had ReGen Phoenix in B tier and Wholesome Halfwits in C. Key, who is on Wholesome Halfwits, put together a power rankings for this division. He had ReGen Phoenix down at D with his team at C, so a little bit of shade, especially with his comments on it. He actually stated that he did not feel that ReGen Phoenix would have the consistency. We'll see if they can find it here, as ReGen Phoenix has already played a match. They played against Careless Badgers earlier in the week. This is a flex match for them, as we see ETC the first pick, not a surprise. Sonia Sylvanas follow up. Careless Badgers, a new team, but a team with a pretty good roster that I think could do a lot of good things here. To that end, Stukov Greymane, so going back a little old school here for Key. As we see the Stukov coming out. Still no tank picked up for ReGen Phoenix. We'll see if that draws a ban. Malthael banned out to deny that solo laner. Malthael very good on this map for his double soak potential with the On a Pale Horse. ReGen Phoenix did lose that series, but they still picked up a point in that loss, losing 2-1, not getting dominated. Certainly you never want to lose, but it's important to pick up points where you can. Joanna gonna get banned, denying that tank player. Or denying that popular tank. Given that there was no tank on ReGen Phoenix, I expected that. Although, could have been a healer ban. You know, I'm still a big fan of Rhaegar, despite not seeing him as much lately from other teams. I think Rhaegar is exceptionally good with Sonya. Maybe we see that grabbed here. Also good for the camp clear. We have a Cho'Gall. Okay. Alright. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, okay. We have a Cho'Gall. What's that gonna be? Like, Maya? Muya? We'll figure out. Alright, so that lends to something like an Alex or an Oriel. As we see the Leoric picked up in response to that. The Li Ming provides a lot of poke. They already have the Greymane as well as the Stukov, which I actually think Stukov is a good pick into the Cho'Gall because of the opportunity for targeted excision resets and the overall sustained healing he can put out. We do get the Oriel. I figured it was that or Alex, and to be honest, Alex just struggles a bit. I would say that ReGen Phoenix has an okay Cho'Gall comp, although I'm worried about Leo just getting onto the backline and setting up Greymane. They don't really have peel for the backline. That said, Oriel can take care of herself. She's a big girl. We'll see what happens here. But tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Randy Gonzalez, we got a Cho'Gall game. That's right, Cho'Gall. As we get set for game number 1 in this best-of-3 series, Wholesome Halfwits, ReGen Phoenix. First time we're seeing Wholesome Halfwits this season, as we mentioned, ReGen Phoenix coming off a loss, 2-1 loss to Careless Badgers. This is in Division A East. Taking a look at the standings real quick. You can see only that one game played so far. So ReGen Phoenix going to have 2 games. A lot of teams playing tonight for the first time. But here we go now, jumping into the match. On the left side, we'll introduce them. It is Wholesome Halfwits. You're going to have Key on Stukov, G Money drums on the Li Ming. Skathar going to be on the Leoric. TKS Tanksta is going to be on the ETC. And Darker Black on the Greymane. And over on the right, ReGen Phoenix, it's going to be Arrow on Sonya. Mudria. That actually worked out quite well. Mudria. Mudria is going to be the Cho'Gall. Mudge and Arya. Darabo on the Ariel, and Rabid Penguin going to be playing the Sylvanas. Mudria. I like it. That is catchy, right? Mudria. That's just nice. It rolls right off the tongue. As Ariel did go into that Searing Light, which is a fun talent to play with the Cho'Gall, as people tend to get stacked up on him. You pair that at 16 with the Stacking Hope talent, and it can be quite powerful. ETC power slides in. They're looking for the Sylvanas, and the Stukov silence with the slow, absolutely securing that. Very, very well executed combo to start out with by Wholesome Halfwits. And denying that Sylvanas is going to slow down this bottom lane pressure as Sonya and Leoric go to soak the mid and top. The goal here, very clearly, they want to get a lot of value in this bot lane with this Cho'Gall Ariel combo. We'll see if they can do it. Right now, Pumpkin's being pushed into this bot lane. They think about invading, they decide against it. They're going to wait, fight in the lane, but it is the Leo-Sonya double soaking. We'll keep an eye on those health bars while we keep our attention down to this action-packed bottom lane. So far doing a good job healing through this Cho'Gall damage. Stukov definitely going to be able to do that. Key does like to go this reactive Ballista Spores, so oftentimes you can use that to your advantage. If you start to get a little bit low on health and you need a cooldown, you can step up, take a little bit of damage to pop that cooldown to get a heal out. said, the ability does have a 10-second cooldown, but Stukov trait has a 16. Key, always been a big fan of vigorous reuptake at the 4, getting that big burst of healing as we see the members of ReGen Phoenix rotate up mid to try to give Sonya a little bit of help in this lane, now heading back down. Sonya Leo still just playing around each other and killing minions. Nothing to see there. Mudria, Darabo, Rabbit Penguin here in the bottom. Looks like we'll see a trade as Sonya, though, coming down to the mid. Cho'Gall going to rotate up. They're going to see if maybe they can catch this Leo out. And I would not be surprised to see them rotate and look for this top left. But that said, Ariel has been left down here in the bottom and cannot rotate up because of the ETC. ReGen Phoenix, they're going to get a stall. But the rest of the team rotating up, Ariel's still in the bot lane. If they got that pick off, I think it was realistic to take top left, but not able to do it here, obviously, with the Leo still extremely healthy. Darabo is up soaking the lane, and oh, ETC did the wrong order. He did the face melt into the P-slide. Darabo buying some space. There's a silence from Stukov. It's going well. Now the rest of the team rotating down. They get the kill. The question is, can Key get out of this? But here comes the Greymane rotating down to pressure out Mudria, and they still get the kill. So didn't land that stun, but did at least force Ariel with that face melt to rotate down through the bottom. Definitely slowing her rotation a bit out. And pushing her away from the teammates rotating in. Now Sylv, who started on this camp, recognizes, yeah, we can't really take this right now. Backing up, ETC power slides in. Sonya is here. This is a 5v5. Arrow a little bit low to join this fight, but Sonya is extremely on top of this ETC. ETC does go down there. First kill for ReGen Phoenix. And now a little bit of push coming up here bottom with that kill. Sonya going to rotate into the lane, start cleaning it up. Leo going to do his little spooky ghost walk to double soak. As now Pumpkins being grabbed here in the bottom. Next objective will be bottom 2 channel points. 4-point lead at the moment for Wholesome Halfwits. But of course, 4-point leads don't really mean anything at this stage of the game. It's really going to come down to that 4th or 5th altar phase where there's 3. Cannot recall. This is the 2nd, however. We got a long way to go until then. That's a Cho'Gall taking a lot of damage here from this Greymane. Does get a big heal from Ariel. Ariel is getting hope off damage Cho'Gall receives, but they managed to channel the bottom there despite the Cho'Gall and all the traffic in the area on the side of Wholesome Halfwits, and now maybe have an advantageous engage on his Cho'Gall, who is silent. Sonya coming in the background, trying to get the kill on the ETC. Sonya does get that kill. Now the chase on the Skathar, and a great turnaround here by ReGen Phoenix. Mudria wants G-Money. The poison damage might be enough. Greymane goes in. No, the heal comes in from Key to save the Li Ming. Mudria walks away, so a 1-for-1 trade at the moment, preserving the 4-point lead. But it will still be the lead to Wholesome Halfwits. Once level 10s come in, of course, we get a very different game. You got to think about the mosh pit from ETC. The Entomb coming in from the Leoric could put Cho'Gall in a bit of a bad spot here. Leoric going with that hopelessness, trying to get the extra range to pressure this Cho'Gall out just a little bit more. Key, meanwhile, with the expanding E. So if they can get that lockdown, Cho'Gall will have a hard time getting out of it. It is a resurrect from the Ariel. Could see either way. With a Cho'Gall comp, resurrect is common, but that said, Aegis is never bad in my mind. Cho'Gall comes in. He's got the Twilight Hammer, the Twisting Nether. Mosh comes down, gets interrupted. Sonya now going in. There's the Entomb. Oh, but Leoric in a bad spot here. The healing not going to be enough. Twisted Nether is popped, trying to secure that kill, but it was actually already secured. No, he charges in and gets the blow up. does quite a bit of damage, but the follow-up just wasn't there. Mudria taking some damage. Ariel going to do the best to heal it out. Good face melt to knock the enemy team away from their pumpkins. Make that clear take a little bit longer. Give them time to get Leo back up and soaking. Leo's going to spawn right here in the middle. Not really miss any soak despite the death there. But now we have the top shrines as we zoom out so we can see both sides. Rabbit Penguin channeling the right, Key channeling the left. Looks like Mudria thinking about that engage, but decides to back up after that big spooky ghost hand damage from Leo. So once again, 1-for-1 trade, 4-point lead, still in favor of Wholesome Halfwits. After the third objective phase, camp being taken, bottom right, getting some sappers into the lane. Sonya having to play safe for the moment, recognizing the enemy team's up here, but here comes that rotation down to respond. And they're keeping 4 people against this Cho'Gall Ariel Sylvanas. Not looking for any rotations onto the Sonya. Instead, just committing to the fight. And you gotta like this kind of aggressiveness when it has been getting the results it has. As right now, I feel like they haven't really been bullied by Cho'Gall in the early game, which can often happen. But that said, of course, Cho'Gall spiking very late, becoming very difficult to kill. Twilight Hammer knocking away the engage. ETC does get a bit low. Has a tap, however. Stukov, a good sustained healer. There's the curse bullet onto Mudria. Does a bit of damage. ETC power slides in. He's trying to get the face melt. Knocked back there. Silence. There's the Twisted Nether. Mudria has to walk away. Does pop on the Darker Black, but the follow-up damage isn't there. A lot of fuss and fury there in that quick little engage, but didn't secure anything. But Twisted Nether now down for 65 seconds. Sonya working on this top sapper is right away. It's like, click away to look at that. Let's see if Leo spots the sapper camp out. Not in time. If he recognized it was coming, he didn't seem too worried about it. We have a single altar phase coming up. Level 13's now here for the side of Phoenix. Wholesome Halfwits getting them in just any second now. As we see Twilight Hammer comes out, knocking back. Separation onto Leo, but Leo's fine. Spooky Ghost walks out of there. Now looking for that Entomb. You got to be careful about clumping on the side of ReGen Phoenix here. Scathar taking a lot of damage, but here comes Greymane looking onto the back line. There's the root combo onto the Cho'Gall. ETC boshes in, doesn't actually collect anyone. Entomb is a miss. Mudria blows people up with that just coming out damage so much from the Wailing Arrow Sylvanas. My goodness. And now, big 3 kills for the side of ReGen Phoenix. That's going to turn into equalizing off this tribute. They're also going to potentially be able to grab this bottom fort, although Leo does get the Spooky Ghost hand off. He's going to at least be a nuisance here. Oh, there's the Cursed Bullet. They want this kill. Stukov root hits. Kia's just been nailing those. Twisted Nether, though, looking for the turnaround, but Mudria is going to go down. The Resurrect, though, on the way. Leoric goes down to the poison damage. Sylvanas, recognizing the situation, wants to get back in. Great stun there onto the Li Ming by Darabo, but Li Ming teleports over the wall to get away. They still want this bottom structure. Are they going to be able to find it? That is the question. And the answer with ETC down is not necessarily. That said, this whole time, Sonya soaking in the side lanes. No one on the side of Wholesome Halfwits soaking at the moment. They're just desperately trying to save this bottom keep, and so far they've done it, but now finding themselves down about half a level here, as they'll need to close this XP gap on this race towards 16. They're going to start working on doing just that, but Pumpkin Sappers about to enter the lane here in bottom. Mudria stepping up. There's the power slide from ETC. Mosh into the root combo. Mosh was wound up but interrupted, but ETC still goes down. Now Darker Black unable to get away. That Cho'Gall charge just closing distance so well, and this keep is going down. And now with an opportunity to walk 3 Pumpkin Sappers in, as well as the triple altar phase here on the fifth altar phase. Got top left, top right, and the bottom. Sylv currently getting the channel uncontested. Sonya trying to channel left. The members of ReGen Phoenix are here to defend it, and they should be able to get their own. That is going to be 15 big ones into the core of Wholesome Halfwits. And this triple altar phase, when you triple cap like that, especially when you have a bottom keep on the enemy team, it can be absolutely deadly. We are now talking with those sappers walked in as well. It is now 8-24. It was an even game a second ago, and now we're looking at a potential game-ending situation. Here's the big Twisted Nether. They're looking for the Leo. ETC power slides in, gets the Mosh. Sonya is low, does go down. Is the Resurrect available? It is. Can she find it? Damage coming out from the Cho'Gall and the Sylvanas once again, but now it is Cho'Gall who's gone down. The Resurrect has not been used on either, and now Rabid Penguin is going to fall. That looked like a really good start there, but Stukov got that big heal off, enabled the re-engage, turn around 5 kills. Resurrect just not able to get off with all those interrupts. And ReGen Phoenix, who had a huge lead, still do, but now find themselves a little bit on the back foot here, as they will be down on XP. Greymane has a couple options for percent damage at 16. We'll see if one of them is taken, or if he goes in more of like an executioner style. I think either makes sense. His percent damage, I think, requires wolf form, which is a bit risky. Oh, Sonya maybe didn't want to do that. Sonya goes in with the spear. I don't know if it was just like, oh, I'm just going to spear behind the wall and duck back, but got very much punished. There's the Stukov massive shove as the members of Wholesome Halfwits look to push in this bottom. ETC power slides in, finds Sylvanas. There's the follow. Root comes in. Down goes Sylvanas. The root combos have just absolutely been on point for Key, but the turnaround kill onto ETC is at least going to give them some degree of hope for the time being. The fort is still standing. Darker Black looking for the exit, can't find it, and that is a 2-for-2 trade. Well, actually a 2-for-1 trade in that moment. Sylvanas does get resurrected as Sonya is coming up in 8. That said, shots channeled on the bottom, but Mudria looking for this kill onto Scathar. Scathar not going to be able to get out, and that is 3 kills, but 4 shots into the core of Wholesome Halfwits. Wholesome Halfwits are going to go ahead and grab their sapper camp on the other side. Ming debating where she wants to go. With only 2 people on the map, they can't really force out very much. They do have a slight XP lead, but that is on the way to being lost, as Sonya currently able to soak the top lane. Good massive shove there by the Stukov, making sure that slowing down this engage towards the bottom. Leoric looking for time to resurrect. ETC is back up, coming to flank down, has Mosh available. Greymane takes the tunnel as well. ETC goes in, gets the power slide on to the Ariel to secure the Mosh. Ariel, gets massive shoved out. They're going to go now for the Cho'Gall, who has the ice block. Here's the Entomb, gets pushed back in, not able to escape. So it's a good massive shove there, as now Ariel not really going to easily be able to step up for... Actually, she blew Resurrect a bit ago, so it doesn't have it on cooldown at the moment. Probably just waiting for the members of Wholesome Halfwits to disappear so she can go for that Resurrect onto the Cho'Gall. We'll have the cooldown up in 3. They definitely need Cho'Gall to win this bottom objective. On the other hand, though, Pendulum swinging back the other way in favor of Wholesome Halfwits. Now looking to take this bottom objective. Boss top is going to be the call, trying to at least get into a critical situation for the members of Wholesome Halfwits, where if they lose a single objective, it could very well mean the game. Wholesome Halfwits, they go ahead and take the bottom. They get the 5 shots before the top is converted. And now what are they going to do? Are they going to shell game, or are they going to look for the engage? Looks like they're actually going to back up and play camps and just try to control this bottom and start walking some sappers in. That said, there is a sapper camp up on the top, and that could become a problem if they do not convert this keep back. Still, they're going to defend bottom for the time being. Cho'Gall is now back alive. Looks like there will be a fight down here in the bottom. Both teams with their level 20s. ETC did not take Deathmosh. Took Bolt of the Storm. So keep that in mind. Buried alive, of course, from the Leoric. An incredible engage tool. Leo, though, currently taking this top back. Not the fastest clear. These sappers do get cleaned up in the bottom. Now, presumably, we'll see the members of Phoenix want to convert back this bottom. Maintain their critical advantage here. Sonya looking onto the flank. It is a 5v4 at the moment. There's a stun onto the ETC. Good knockback. Very, very good knockback. That was actually G Money Drum's repulsion. Saved ETC's bacon there, or I guess his beef. Not really bacon, but here we go. Top objective. Now, at the moment, Wholesome Halfwits can technically afford to trade out here. But I don't think they want to. It puts them into a really rough spot where any one shot anywhere on the map would cost them the game. They have key on the back channel, and they're going to get both of these channels. Bottom does get converted back, so it's only 8 shots here into the core, leaving 7 health on the core of ReGen Phoenix. If the next shrine is a double, it is game, set, match on that fight. However, if it's a single, there's going to be a little bit more work needed from Wholesome Halfwits. Some poking back and forth here. A lot of menace to that, but nobody really pulling the trigger as we are in that critical stage of the game. You got to think the winner is very likely to win, even with the next shrine phase so very far away. The next shrine phase is a single, and it is middle. So again, ReGen Phoenix gets a little bit of a sigh of relief here. As in order to lose the game, they would either have to have sappers pushed in or get 6-capped. They can't lose the game off just giving the shrine. Same cannot be said for Wholesome Halfwits. Right now, if they give the shrine, they would lose the game. Their margin of error much smaller. But in this case, though, still an incredibly close game. Again, it was 8-24 at one point. And they have clawed their way back in. Both teams just hovering around this bottom. Sappers being walked towards the bottom. Leo trying to make sure the lanes push out a little bit, but doesn't want to get too far away from his team, as Soak, not the most important thing right now. Ooh, ETC finds Sonya. They're looking for this engage. Do they have the Entomb? No, they do not pull the trigger on the Entomb with the Cho'Gall flank. I think a wise decision there. They have control over this point. ETC in the bush gets stunned out by the Cho'Gall. But there is a big buried alive onto the Ariel, and down she goes. However, she can resurrect. ETC moshing to buy space, but it doesn't work. He gets interrupted. Wailing Arrow, gonna interrupt Leoric. Arrow in the backline, surviving everything, but the Greymane goes down. He was isolated, now looking for Scathar. Power slide, they're onto the Cho'Gall, but that is Leoric going down. Now Arrow, though, extremely low, as is Rabid Penguin. Oh, but the heal from Ariel's enough to keep them alive, and on the other hand, Stukov and ETC go down, and this will be ReGen Phoenix taking a very, very intense game number 1. What an excellent game. Let's see what happens in game number 2. And there we go. ReGen Phoenix wins Towers of Doom. Great fight at the end there. Great choice to go for that Ariel. And a good job by them isolating the Greymane, getting him killed. And gotta say, Darabo had some clutch heals. Some CAHs. Some clutch-ass heals. Doesn't really work, I know. Anyway, great job by them. Interesting comp, but they actually did a good job protecting Ariel. Those big stuns from the Cho'Gall at the end really limited ETC's availability in the fight. And ultimately, got them the win. So, with that, we're going to set up for game number 2. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. All right, welcome back to our next gaming series. DB Smiley here. Hell of a game one between ReGen Phoenix and Wholesome Halfwits. We saw ReGen Phoenix get that big lead. Wholesome Halfwits claw their way back, but it came down to that last team fight. But now we're jumping into Infernal Shrines, and here we go. In just a second. Sorry, I was trying to time that because there's a delay when they say 3, 2, 1 and hit the button. Because HOTS has a shitty lobby system. Anyway, jumping now into the tournament draft. Wholesome Halfwits, ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Phoenix would love to get a domination victory here. Wholesome Halfwits, on the other hand, definitely don't want to go quietly into that good night. They want to rage against the dying of the light. The thing is, you still die anyway. Spoiler alert, by the way, you die. We always like to remind people of their mortality here on the DB Smiley Twitch stream. ETC gonna be the first ban out once again from Wholesome Halfwits. Actually, no, I take that back. ETC was picked first by Wholesome Halfwits. That's interesting, actually, because I thought the ETC was played okay. I think ETC is incredibly powerful, but it seems that they're going to prioritize something else here. Interesting. Garrosh, going to be next ban out of ReGen Phoenix. Wasn't picked up in the last game, but powerful on this map. As we talked about before here on this stream, you cannot throw the skeletal minions. You can throw minions, you can throw mercenaries, you cannot throw monsters. And as a result of that, Garrosh can have a lot of power here in an unexpected way. You think you're safe because you're used to like just run into a wave of minions, and it doesn't work. Anna banned out. This time by the members of Wholesome Halfwits. It was banned out against them last time. So an interesting move. Banning out that. I guess it means they're prioritizing. So they banned out kind of 2 first pick popular heroes. So what hero do they think is worthy of that first pick? With the Garrosh band, with the Diablo band. Actually, come to think of it, Wholesome Halfwits banned out Diablo in the last game. There's a lot of band swapping here. The teams are not backwards. I know that. Scathar, gonna grab the Sonya. Okay, so there's the priority. We saw an early Sonya pick last time. First 2 picks were Sonya Sylvanas. So they want to steal that Sonya away. That does leave the Sylvanas up. Sylv, incredibly powerful on this map if you win the objective. That second part is very important. Still a good hero, but definitely a lot more powerful when you win the objective. We're seeing the Chromie come out. She did get nerfs to that W build. Sizable nerfs, you would say. We'll see how strong she is. I saw her last night. She still looked pretty good. And then there's the Muradin. And I actually like that Muradin pickup as a way to try to counter out the Stukov. It is a great way to do it. That said, Mura can struggle on this map landing those Storm Bolts on the objective because of all the skeletal minions in the way. Rotation right back into the Greymane Stukov. We saw it last time, although this time it is G-Money Drums grabbing the hero first. Could see a switch key once again on Stukov. They don't have a tank yet. Joanna is available, although she's fallen off with her trade a bit weaker. Mal'Ganis kind of hasn't been around as much. He was very, very popular last season. Joanna gonna get banned. So you think about the tanks. You could see something like a Blaze tank. Could. May is available if they play it. Theory, you could look at things like a Nubarak. I don't really like a Nubarak right now, if I'm completely honest. But it is pickable, and they have good dive follow-up for it. Anduin going to get banned, so they are still going to be playing for those Stukov roots. Key was incredibly accurate with them in game 1. Very, very accurate. Wholesome Halfwits lose this one. I will literally cry. Well, I'm hoping you don't cry because I want a game 3. But if you do, it's okay. It's okay to cry. We in society, we try to paint everyone like they need to be this big person that is over all the emotion around them, that thinks always at a time with rational, and to think rationally should be praised. But we are human. We are not robots. And so it's okay to cry. Just not on this stream. If your tears stain this stream, you're banned for life. Brightwing, Tychus, lot of blow-up potential with that Muradin, so they are definitely going to try to get onto whatever tank is picked. It is the Varian Taunt. Pairs very well with the Stukov. Has the shield wall as well to survive a blow-up. That means the kill target's going to have to be someone else, and there's the Kilthos. So tons and tons and tons of burst on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. We saw this last night, a very similar comp. Can't remember which teams I casted last night, but I saw this comp, and it struggled a lot with the breakers, although I think it was Boogan Squad, that was it. Boogan's Forever, excuse me. Boogan's Forever ran this. They had a really hard time executing this comp, ended up losing the game. But we'll see what happens here. If they are able to execute. The breakers that are in the game right now make it a lot trickier to get those CC combos. And arguably both teams really went with, alright, we're gonna pick a motherfucker and we're gonna blow them up. Like, both these have the kill that motherfucker comps. It's whoever Variant Taunts or whoever Muradin Stormbolts. That said, they have that extra CC from the Blaze on the side of ReGen Phoenix. The Brightwing concerns me, because she'll have Cleanse, but she's not going to have a Burst Heal until, like, 13, and that Burst Heal puts her at risk. So we'll see how that goes as we jump into the game. Going to be an interesting situation. Go ahead and introduce the team. It's going to be Key once again on Stukov. G-Money Drums is on the Greymane. Darker Black on the Kael'thas. TKS Tanksta is on the Varian, not the ETC. Excuse the graphic there. On the and Scathar on Sonya, excuse me. On the other side, ReGen Phoenix. Arrow is on Blaze. I apparently put 2 Chromies. My mistake. Arya is on Brightwing. Mudge is going to be on the Muradin. Rabid Penguin on Tychus. And down here in the bottom, it is Darabo on Chromie. So they switched up on me, and I didn't recognize that. But Arya is going to be playing Brightwing here. Let's take a look at those talent builds. Both teams kind of hovering around the mid-bottom right now. Maybe both looking to do that double soak once again. Been seeing that a lot more, even on this map. A lot more emphasis on double soak and trying to control the bot lane and the camps. Right now, Brightwing is in the mid. Brightwing choosing to go with the Polymorph talent, give them a little bit of extra range on that Poly, look for the blow-ups. Yes, that talent also gives you a reset. You don't really take it for the reset, you really take it for the extra range. And if you can land the reset, you know, more power to you, no downside. On the other side, Muradin going with the Stormbolt damage increase. Very, very much the emphasis on the burst here. Keeping an eye on this bottom lane. Right now, it is 4v2 here as Tychus and Brightwing work on cleaning up this siege. Taking them quite a bit, admittedly. We'll see what happens. No pressure there. They do get it. Now going to have to send Tychus up to clear the mid. Brightwing down here to the bottom. Muradin does have second wind. If he just backs up from the minions after he kills them, he'll be able to heal himself up fairly well. Brightwing doesn't need to blow the Z just yet. Blaze hovering mid. Looks like they really want to get some value off this siege camp, but now looking for the flank. Gets spotted out by the Greymane, who walks on out. The wave is going to get cleaned up, but these Siege Giants already a bit low. Mura comes in. There's the taunt. Stukov polyed so he can't follow up with his combo. Keep an eye on that. Look for the Brightwing to continue to poly the Stukov to deny that big follow-up CC as really a very one-dimensional comp on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. They have to get the taunt into the combos to get the kills. And Darker Black, who stepped up with the Varian, not able to follow up. Great polymorph there by the Brightwing to slow that engage. As well as the Stormbolt from Mura. And ReGen Phoenix gets the first kill of the game. Now they're going to turn that into the bottom camp. Shrine is starting. It is of the arcane variety, which this early in the game tends to not get a lot of value. It doesn't have as much siege damage as the others, and it doesn't have the tower shut down. So it's not the most important thing in the world to win this first Punisher. But that said, you don't want to intentionally lose it unless you're soaking elsewhere. And ReGen Phoenix very much looking for this fight. Can they find the Stormbolt? There's the poly. They get almost Sonya down. There's the taunt on Mura. There's the silence. Down he goes. Chromie chunks out a lot of damage, but if they just wait a second, Stukov should be able to heal that up rather nicely, especially with that targeted excision once again being the choice. As Wholesome Halfwits now looking to finish capping the Shrine. Tychus and Brightwing have rotated away to soak. Brightwing, of course, can Z up. I wouldn't be surprised if they just left Tychus down here to push with the Khazra and the minions and try to equalize on value a bit. That said, they don't have really much Punisher damage up here right now. Tychus now rotating top. They're going to send Blazebot. But Tychus still taking a bit to get here, and this gate has gone down, as has the wall. And so now this could be a fort for the side of Wholesome Halfwits, especially if they're able to get a kill here. Thank you for the sub, Atlas. Glad to see some Die for Vision people still hanging around. They've kind of moved on to a few different teams, but hopefully we'll see them back as a unit in the Nexus. Once again, some shining day. Arrow in a bit of trouble. Great dodge there. But now an immediate move to bottom. They didn't get the fort. They do have Sonya on the siege camp. Rest of the team not there. Chromie gonna spot out. Scathar just gonna walk away, wisely so. Key starting the siege camp for Wholesome Halfwits. ReGen Phoenix working on their own. Tychus did go bigger they are here. So that's going to set up some good initial burst damage and let Chromie try to look for those finishes. Ooh, but there's the taunt on Mura. Silence, follow-up, Greymane damage, dead. Brightwing did not have time to Z down there to get the save. Now, looking still aggressively. This is the hard part for the members of ReGen Phoenix. They can have Emerald Wind as a way to try to disengage the taunt, though it has such a long wind-up, you have to question how much value it can really get. Chromie has not locked her heroic yet. Stukov does not have a cleanse, so Rewind is very much an option, especially if it sets up Muradin with a very high rate accuracy Stormbolt. Oh, Tychus is about to die. And that is exactly what they're going to do every chance they get. And that is going to give them level 10s. Not going with the shield wall, though. Going with the Warbringer on the side of Varian. Normally I say that's the better talent, but with that Tychus, I just think... Well, actually, Perry already takes care of that job. What am I saying? So if anything... Yeah, never mind. That's a good call. You still have to worry about the Chromie damage, but it's not as big a concern. Greymane burning up this top bruiser camp. Gonna get that in the lane. Sonya, though, clears that top one. Takes a little bit of wall damage. Not much, but gonna prep the lane a bit. On the other side, 10 is here now. It is slowing sands, ultimately, from Chromie. We got the Combustion, the Avatar, and the Odin. Brightwing has not picked yet. On the other side, Cursed Bullet, Phoenix, Leap, and Flailing Swipe. So a lot of engage tools here with the Taunt, with the Leap. Next objective will be a Frozen Punisher. So this is arguably the strongest right now because it shuts down the towers and the fort. And those roots just cover the ground. Here comes the engage, though. They get the stun onto Greymane. There's the bigger they are. It does a bit of damage. Taunt onto the Tychus. But now Tanksta doesn't really have a way to get in. Great leap by the Sonya. Goes in the back looking for the Tychus. There is Mudge going down. Brightwing choosing to Z the Tychus, trying to get the save. But the turnaround damage there. That's a Darker Black. May not have wanted to pop back in there. Breaker used by Sonya to make sure they can get away. They are going to have to drop taps and come back in. Can ReGen Phoenix get something done on this objective in the time? Can they get close enough that the Odin can poke it out? Good time out there by the Chromie. Emerald Wind actually gets interrupted there by a Brightwing. Now Darabo comes out of timeout, has nowhere to go, does a lot of damage. ReGen Phoenix only 6 away, but Tychus not going to be able to find it. Chromie tries to get a last night, but there is the Frozen Punisher, and that is the second Punisher for the members of Wholesome Halfwits. And you know, even though they got those 2 kills there, it just felt like that fight was a lot closer, as the turnaround damage was so very, very real. But losing no one, now have an opportunity to push. Kael'thas is very aggressively positioned. There's the focus on Nomura. It does get rooted. Big blaze charge from Arrow, though, is going to disengage that. Hit 4 with the jet charge. Great, great stun. Tower, however, is now shut down. Chromie here to defend. It's 5 defending. And if they can save this fort, that would be big. And it looks like they're going to do just that. There we go, but all this while, Sonya does take top fort. And so still a structure lead for the members of Wholesome Halfwits. Ooh, there's the focus on Nomura. Silence is there. He gets out, but does finally go down to the Greymane. Big combustion, hits 2. G-Money drums. Might not be able to get out of this. There's the Unstoppable from Arrow, doing a bit of damage. Turnaround onto the Varian, but Scathar comes in on the flank, finds the kill. Tanksta barely survives that Chromie W. There's the Z. Is it going to land in time? It does. And the Emerald Wind is going to shut Sonya out, so that does save Tychus. 2 for 1 trade at the moment. They can try to take this bottom, but it will be potentially a 3v3 with a Chromie. That said, they're going to go ahead and take it. Tanksta checking the bushes. Doesn't see anyone there. Making sure there's no Chromie damage. Once they see everyone mid, they'll probably feel a lot safer. There they go. Can now clean up the lane. Try to push in this bottom. They did get the bot fort. And so, now big structure lead favoring Wholesome Halfwits. This is the moment where ReGen Phoenix needs to try to look for a fight to get back in before level 16 comes in. It is almost level 14 to just over level 15. So they only have a little bit of time to get this fight before the next shrine, as at the rate it is going, they will start the next shrine, I should say, down level 16. Blaze looking for the flank. Is mounted, could try to force that. Looks like they want to go for this invade. Stormbolt into the bush, finds Tanksta. Blaze goes in, gets the stun onto Stukov. Mudge takes a lot of damage. Big combustion, hits 3, stun onto Greymane. Does manage to walk out of there with the breaker. Now Leap comes in, into the silence. Arrow goes down, Mudge goes down, but so does Sonya. Can they get the turnaround kill with the Chromie? Rabbit Penguin trying to run away, but Varian's on the chase. No, great time trap there. But now Brightwing is isolated, and she cleanses herself. It will not be enough. Kael'thas securing the finishing kill there. And now Darabo in a lot of trouble. I don't think Darabo is going to get out of this, and that will be Wholesome Halfwits with a potentially huge lead. No, Darabo does get out. Great slowing sands, great escape. But that said, they still will find themselves down at the start of this shrine. They're going to tick over level 15. Whereas now with their bruiser camp stolen, they're going to have to clean the top as well. And that should give Wholesome Halfwits all the time they need to secure this shrine with the 16 advantage. It will be the Mortar Punisher, as the Punishers do cycle. After that, if we get a 4th Punisher, it's anyone's guess. Varian, good zoning position here. Recognizing the rotation was likely to come from top, but now they probably want to get someone towards that bottom. Chromie just clearing up the lane. Not really much that Phoenix can try to do here. They kind of just have to let Wholesome Halfwits get the Punisher. Luckily, it's mid where they still have a fort, so that will slow down the advance. They want to try to get some structure in the meantime, or at least get some push, find 16. They did a good job soaking 16 there. Now they have their opportunity. Varian, though, has that spell power shield. So look for Kel'Thas to absolutely truck out the damage. Looking for the follow-up. Stukov goes for the root. He is a bit exposed, but doesn't get punished. There's the taunt onto Mura, and he does not escape. Arya, trying to get away. Leap comes in for the finish. Combustion looking for the turnaround. Taunt onto Tychus, but Tychus actually turning around big time with the bigger they are. Tons of damage. They have the Chromie to defend with. It's a good tool. But that 4 went down quick, and now with 2 people down, this could very well be the keep. Can they find the taunt? The slowing stance from Chromie absolutely getting a ton of value at the moment. Stukov positioned very aggressively. Team moves in for this keep. Muradin's up in 7, so they can't really end here, but they do get the keep all the same. And now immediate rotation, starting to paint this map blue, is Wholesome Halfwits. At this point, though, they want to avoid fighting. They are well on their way to soaking 20 before the next objective. Still a very long way to go for ReGen Phoenix. Upper hand very much in favor of Wholesome Halfwits. ReGen Phoenix going with the aggressive invade here. Bottom of the map, though, being painted blue. They're going to have to do something about this bottom lane, as well as the mid. They take top. This top, though, because the wall is up, all it's going to do, rotate around and just feed on keep wall. Won't get a ton of value. And actually, with the Kata here, it will get even less. So, just more a denial than it is a steal. Meanwhile, Brightwing trying to defend this 6 Cosra push into the mid. Team comes up. No real attempt to punish the clear. Recognizing they're close to 20. Want to play this safe. Big wave top. That will get them a lot of the way there. On the other side, ReGen Phoenix. Maybe looking for a gank here. Maybe trying to look for a fight. But just not really knowing where the members are. They're going to go ahead and at least take this bottom fort. Equalize that single Kata pressure in the bot lane, but they are losing in the other 2 lanes, especially in mid. But now recognizing that push bottom, they're going to come top. Backs are coming in. Brightwing, of course, can Z back, but they do get the keep wall down. The next objective is in the bot lane, though. So ReGen Phoenix, if they can win it, could get the turnaround. There's the timeout from Chromie. Does buy space. Silence, though, coming in. Leap timed perfectly with the timeout. Does get the stun out the Daredevil. Will it be enough to secure the kill? No, it won't be. Brightwing managing to get the save. They do save the keep for the time being. Level 20 just kicked over by the members of Wholesome Halfwits, though. They are going to clean this top camp up. The next objective is the Arcane Punisher. It is bot lane, which is the best news for ReGen Phoenix. They have at least done some work in that lane. But that said, they're going to have to be aware of this catapult pressure mid, the catapult pressure top as well. Should neutralize out in the bottom, 1 Kata every 3 lanes for both teams. Meanwhile, aggressive positioning here coming out from Wholesome Halfwits. And there is going to be no opportunity for ReGen Phoenix to get level 20 before they need to fight over this shrine. Do they go for the desperate fight or look for the delay? Looks like they're going to go for the desperate defense. on the shrine. 10 minions already picked up. They need to wait for Blaze to come in. They get the stun, though, on the Varian. And there's the bigger they are. Looking for the jet charge. No, doesn't land. The Polymorph still getting a lot of value. Great unstoppable there by Arrow to secure the combustion. Getting off a lot of value. Mudge goes in. There's the taunt. It does secure the kill on a Varian. Leap, though, on the turnaround. Silence on Mudge. Mudge trying to walk away. Trying to find some health. Greymane chases down. Gets the kill. Now Chromie trying to push back G-Money Drums. It is a 4v4 at the moment. But Sonya is all over this backline here. Blaze trying to buy space. Gets the jet charge. Hits 2. Can the damage be enough? Scathar gets polyed. Will the damage? No, it does not secure the kill. Slowing Sands comes out. Does not manage to trap the Sonya. Blaze on the chase. Can he get onto Darker Black? Darker Black taking a lot of damage from the Tychus. Breaker used to escape the worst of that, but now slowed, but the rest of the team not able to follow. ReGen Phoenix gonna have to drop back and try to clear this bottom objective. Taps coming in from the members of Wholesome Halfwits. Are they gonna be able to get back in time to contest? They had to drop back very far. Blaze certainly going to disrupt, gets the stun on the Sonya, drops the oil, trying to buy space. There's the Polymorph. That's going to force Scathar back. Rabid Penguin looking for the finish. Is not going to be able to find it here, but now it's Arrow actually goes down, gets turned around on with the Cursed Bullet, the Phoenix and the Kael'thas. It is 34-20. ReGen Phoenix cannot afford to lose this objective. Can they find the last of the skeletal minions they need? They have to play back so far, 37-27. Can they find 3 more? Rabid Penguin chases on to Sonya. They do get it. They find it. Chromie gets the last bit of poke. And at least ReGen Phoenix lives to fight another day for the time being. But they are not going to be able to push with this objective. And they're going to have to stall for a long time to find another. Whew. Alright, that was intense. But good steal, all the same from ReGen Phoenix. It will buy them time to get Blaze back. But this game is just hanging by a thread for them. They have no keep wall in the bottom. They have no keep wall in the top. And they have no keep wall or otherwise in the middle. And so their margin of error is exactly 0. And Brightwing is going to get spotted out here. There's the taunt. Great job by Murda engaging, preventing the Stukov Fall of Silence. And that might be enough to trap Varian back. Flailing Swipe comes in trying to buy space, but Tankston not able to get out of there. That said, the health bar so low. Kael'thas is going to get the kill on a Brightwing as well as the Blaze. Now it is a 3v4, but the health bars are low. Feels like ReGen Phoenix, they have to do something to find one more kill. Mudge on the chase, but he's going to back up. Rabid Penguin looking for Darker Black. May have overextended. Great dodge there by Darker Black on the Sonya Spear. Now they're going to have to back up and clear, but it's a 4v3 situation. Let's see what Wholesome Halfwits is able to do with this. The next Punisher is Mortar in the mid lane. Mid lane still extremely healthy for Wholesome Halfwits. So if ReGen Phoenix is going to come back and get the domination, they're going to have to make a play and a half. Might have to make 2. If they can win a big team fight, they can kill 5. They can run bot and try to burn. They don't have the best structure damage, though. Now pushing up the bottom. They don't have a tank here, so they don't have their free taunt engage. G-Money Drums throwing out the spray there, maybe trying to bait in the members of RGP. There is the Cursed Bullet. Sonya wanted to look for the leap follow, didn't land. Brightwing coming down, gets the big heal. And we are back to 5v5. But that said, the lane's just pushing in so hard, and nobody up top defending this. This Kata is going to get a lot of value and might take this structure. It's going to at least get it down to about half health. Bruiser Camp now going to be taking one more homework assignment for ReGen Phoenix to clean up. Now looking for the invade. Mudge gets spotted out there. Varian gets stunned. He's in the slowing sands. And then the Polymorph comes out. Can they get the finish? Taunt there onto Murda, and Sonya leaps onto the backline. No one finds Chromie. Tanksta will drop, but Mudge, is so low. Emerald wins, buys the space for him to get away. Arrow going back in. Mudge does survive as well, but here comes Sonya onto the flank. Tychus doesn't have the bigger they are in the Odin form to try to look for the big damage. Mudge looking for the Greymane. Arrow trying to buy space for his team. Mudge does get the kill there. Arrow is so low, spreads the living bomb to Tychus, but at least for the time being, he's alive. Meanwhile, Mudge wants Key. This could be the opportunity that ReGen Phoenix needs. They are down Chromie, but at least they can get this objective off the map, and maybe look to do something with it. Oh, they finally get the Stukov down. Darker Black almost turns around the kill onto Tychus, but now Mudge, very low, not able to find that kill as well. Brightwing going to need a bit of time to heal the team up. Meanwhile, Kata now pushing into the bot lane. Someone going to have to clean that up. Shrine is active, but they are backing. They're going to leave Blaze to clear, but he is vulnerable for the time being. Is Sonya going to take advantage of this? She does have Leap available. Is she going to go for that blow-up? Kael'thas has backed as well. It's a 1v1 at the moment. Brightwing can Z in, presumably. I don't know the cooldown of Z at the moment. But this is going to be Kael'thas and Sonya now. But Mudge has stepped up as well as here comes the Chromie. They're looking for the engage. Jet Charge did not connect there. Great breaker there by Skathar. But there's the poly with the combustion. They want this kill. Chromie getting damaged. Sonya going to come back in. There's the slowing sands. Trying to look for it. The shield is down. Can they get the finish? Sonya leaps away. Escapes with about 300 health. There's the taunt on Namura looking for the turnaround. Namura blurs the avatar. Does get away. A lot of fire and fury. No kills there. 19-10 on the skeletal minions, so a slight lead for Wholesome Halfwits. But Sonya has to back. It's going to take them all to regroup and re-engage. Will that be enough for ReGen Phoenix to grab this objective? We will find out. 28-19. I think ReGen Phoenix will have this. The next wave is spawning. They spawn in waves of 10. So that should be an easy finish. And this game is still going, but during that time, Top Keep did go down, and there is a catapult on the way to core. Blaze is going to have to back up to take care of it. And there is a lot for this Punisher to do. It feels like the only win condition right now for ReGen Phoenix is maybe finding a way to get 5 kills here and running for the core. But that said, they are holding on, and it's kind of a reverse of the last game. You saw a big lead in the last game by ReGen Phoenix get turned around by Wholesome Halfwits before ReGen Phoenix ultimately shut the door. We'll see if this is a repeat or if ReGen Phoenix is able to actually keep that momentum going and find the upset. Blaze is on the way in, but there is a catapult on the way to core. They need to look for the kill, but they don't have a big part of their damage. Skathar and Varian both very low in the back. Stukov should be able to heal that up in just a second. Darker Black is also incredibly low. This keep is going to go down. The question is ReGen Phoenix going to go for it, or are they going to back up? Looks like they're going to back up. As this game continues, we are 25 minutes in, and we do not yet have a winner. Catapult towards the bottom. Is this camp worth that? Doesn't look like they're actually going for the camp. Looks like they're going for the gank. But they have lost this keep, I think. No, should be saved. Here comes the engage. Blaze gets spotted out, finds the combustion. Focus once again onto the Variant. Cursed Bullet onto Blaze. Arya steps up. Big Emerald Wind to buy space. There's a big Storm Bolt. Can the follow-up damage be there? There's the taunt onto Muradin. Varian and Muradin both low. Muradin jumps out. Varian does not, and that will be a kill, a very crucial kill in favor of ReGen Phoenix. But look at this, 3 catapults on the core, and it is taking utterly massive damage. Blaze is going to come back, but what is it going to be down to? 39%, 44, my goodness. And now they have to be ever aware of that backdoor, because with that Sonya Greymane, that core might as well have 1 HP left. Even when the shields come up, this late in the game with a Sonya and a Greymane, that core might as well be butter. ReGen Phoenix is going to need a miracle, and unfortunately they didn't get luck, as the next shrine will be in the top, meaning they cannot realistically wait for that shrine to win because the fort's still standing. They're going to need to play patient, but they have no keeps left. This is a dire situation, to say the least. They need to push the lanes out. They need to look for a fight. And they need the fight to go very well, because they are, simply put, running out of time. And Wholesome Halfwits, they're going to make the aggressive play. This could turn around on them. If they lose this fight, they will very much lose the game. Mudge trying to set up the engage. Cursed Bullet used on the Mura. No fight breaks out ultimately. Rest of the team just wants to get this Bruiser camp to push that top out. But that said, with the catapult every wave, it's not going to push super hard. Next objective is top, but you got to think it's almost irrelevant at this point. I don't even think we will see the members of Wholesome Halfwits go to the top. I think you may see them just try to push this bottom in and draw a fight out in space where that Chromie isn't going to get as much value. Back's coming in now. Are they looking for the back door? They are. They see the push top, and here it comes. They waited out the minion waves very well. They use visibility to their advantage. The backs are coming in, but is it going to be enough time? Brightwing comes in. She needs a big Emerald Wind to buy space. 20% on the core. Oh, the huge damage comes out, but it's not going to be enough. The core goes down. And we are going to go to a Game 3. Wholesome Halfwits tying up this series. And what a game. And kind of in an interesting way, a repeat of what we saw Game 1. One team gets a big lead, looks well in control. Other team claws their way back improbably. Gets to a situation where they have the win condition. But the team that was favored at first comes back, shuts the door, ultimately ends the game. And that's what we saw here. So, we're going to jump into the post-game statistics, take a gander at that. Obviously, both healers doing a ton of work. And we got a Game 3 in this series. So ReGen Phoenix, they had a lot of Game 3s last season. Had a hard time closing out those series. We saw that earlier. Certainly, I think there's a lot of pressure on them to try to get the win here. On the other hand, Wholesome Halfwits, struggled last season. They make a very substantial roster rework. They want to show that this was the best decision. They want to get this win too. I will say that if I look at it on the face of it, I think the winner of this next game is likely to make playoffs. I would say the loser of this next game has an uphill battle. Not to say they're eliminated. It's week 1. A lot can happen. But looking at kind of where these teams have been falling in power levels, I think this Game 3 is vitally important. And we'll probably talk about it come playoff time between these two teams. But we'll see. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the next gaming series. DB Smiley here. We got a game 3. I have cast 3 series so far this season. Game 3, Game 3, Game 3. This is number 4, Game 3. So call it luck, call it what you will. I have been able to cast some tight butthole moments this season. We'll see if we get another couple tight butthole moments here on Volskaya Foundry. These first 2 games have been long. Volskaya Foundry, a map that tends to end on the 3rd objective. I have seen it go longer. We'll see if that happens here. In either case, we're getting set up for the draft. Take a look at how we got here. ReGen Phoenix lost the coin toss. Wholesome Halfwits chose first pick. ReGen Phoenix took it to towers. Got a big lead, let it slip, but ultimately closed it out. Took us to Infernal Shrines. I'm not repeating myself here. Wholesome Halfwits got a big lead, let it slip away, ultimately closed it out. We'll see what happens here as we run into Volskaya Foundry. Seen a lot of interesting bands. The teams almost like swapped some bands last time. We saw Anna banned out by ReGen Phoenix game 1. We saw it banned out by Wholesome Halfwits game 2. Stukov, though, now going to be banned out. They say no moss on those Stukov routes. On the other side, Wholesome Halfwits banning out Diablo. We saw it banned out game 1 and 2. Next band to come. They've shown ETC on the side of Wholesome Halfwits. They have also shown Varian. So if this is a tank choke, you might see that. First pick to ReGen Phoenix for the first time this series. Sometimes that can throw off your draft strategy a bit. Chromie gonna get denied. So a lot of respect for Chromie, especially on this map. There is the ETC ban. So a tank choke coming out from Wholesome Halfwits. Not much played the Mura fairly well in the last game. This could be another Cho'Gall map as well. That is very much an option. And because ReGen Phoenix is picking second, they could actually save Cho'Gall for the 4-5. Anna the first pick. Safe pick. Doesn't really show much. Shows you're going to have some spell damage, which on this map isn't really unique or a surprise. Can generally play back fairly safely. Nano Boost, a very good talent to secure the objective. Can pair with Cho'Gall, just saying it actually can be a thing you pick with Cho'Gall. Deckard, exceptional on this map. Even with the nerf to Ruby, I still think very powerful. I still think Ruby at 4 is not a bad choice. I think, if anything, the nerf opened up actually some possibilities using Sapphire to engage, and Ruby kind of mid-fight or late fight to get some extra healing out. On the other side, Darker Black, grabbing that Kael'thas once again. And we have an Imperious Greymane. Now, they have not picked a spellcaster yet. They have Imperious, who can solo lane, and Imperious good on this map because he brings the team fight. You don't need a lot of wave clear here. I'm not saying they're going to pick Cho'Gall here. They could, and it could work, and they've denied the Greymane. There it is. Cho'Gall banned out. But if anything, just showing the Cho'Gall will draw that ban, and if they weren't thinking of it, they now have a lot more flexibility. Should note that Cho was banned and not Gull, and that is discrimination. Garrosh gonna get denied. So Joanna is a choice. It's not a bad pick with the Deckard either, because you can group people up for that Ruby. And for Living Bomb. I think Joe is a very, very solid pick here. And then they get the Raynor, Hyperion good on this map. Last pick will be the solo lane. I like Leo a lot on this map. I think it can get a ton of value. We'll see if that's the direction they go. There's been a lot of priority on Sonya this match, but not here. Li Ming Mei, so there's their spellcaster and their tank. Mei, pretty good point control, pretty good space control, and if she does manage to combo someone into a stun, the Li Ming and Imperious follow-up and the Greymane can absolutely make them dead. Deckard can't really do anything to save against that. Last pick to come. It is Thrall. So we'll see if we get the Crash Lightning, or if we see Echo of the Elements, or, you know, I mean, all the level 1s can be viable in their own time. Anytime I see Thrall on this map, I think, I feel like I'm about to see Crash Lightning, regardless of my opinion of Crash Lightning. We'll see what happens, though. If Thrall is solo laning a lot against Imperious, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to stack. But here we go. So with that, that is a very weird message. Are you like some kind of weird bot? Oh, okay. You're a new caster. Okay, cool. Anyway, sorry. I wasn't trying to intrude. It's kind of like it looked body. That's all I'll say. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure this is a bot, actually. Anyway, well, we'll find out. If they start posting links, they're banned. All right, Wholesome Halfwits. We got Key on Deckard, G-Money Drums on Raynor, Skathar on the Thrall, Tanksta is going to be on Joanna, Darker Black once again on Kael'thas. And on the right side, the challenger in this Game 3, it's going to be Area on Anna. Got Mudge on Mei, Darabo on the Ming, Rabid Penguin on Greymane, and Arrow is going to be on Imperious. Once again, not really a level 1 fight situation here. Maybe trying to look for a flank. Arrow can at least see this. Oh, check out the website on your account image. Yeah, that is definitely a bot. That is a permaban. All right. Darker Black taking some damage here. Yeah, I didn't see that last message. Though I should note that because I do a lot of casting stuff, I do get a lot of people asking me, you know, for tips on, like, setting up Soothsayer and that. So I thought maybe that's what it was. I didn't see the third message, yeah. Tis a bot. But with that, pretty even so far. Thrall, once again, doing a bit of double soak. It is not Crash Lightning. It is actually that self-sustained Rolling Thunder, which I quite like. It lets Thrall be a lot more aggressive on that front line. Whereas Crash Lightning, even if you stack it, kind of leaves Thrall in a ranged assassin mode. Phoenix, they're going straight into this top camp, though. You think the Raynor team would have an advantage, especially the Exterminator Raynor team, on that camp clear, but that's just the power of Greymane. To clear up, they grab 2 toys off the map. And now looking for the engage. They want to get onto Key. Key is slowed, but follow-up just not able to reach. They're going to back up, go down, and clean up this mid lane. Thrall still doing the double soak, and this is where, you know, if it were any solo laner like Bud Imperious, maybe you could start to see some wave clear pressure slow Thrall down. But Imperius, you know, he's not going to wave clear in the solo lane. He's just going to look for opportunities to get kills. He's going to get a lot of value with that pressure. And then he's going to join the team fight and combo your team. But he is not going to clear the lane fast. Rotation still going. Kind of an interesting rotation by DFV. Sometimes see the 4-man rotate, sometimes see the Thrall do it. Requires a lot of communication to kind of do that chaos and not end up falling behind, but they definitely have it there. That said, these teams are dead even on XP at the moment. There will be a macro edge up in the top briefly in favor of ReGen Phoenix. Deckard, though, going to cap the point, get some initial channel progress until he's forced off. Kind of a general rule on Deckard, especially when you have this much mana heading into an objective. If your Q is off cooldown, you're playing it wrong. You want to make sure that you're keeping that up. Oh, there's the rotation on the Thrall. Is he going to get stunned? No, barely escapes the stun. And that is going to be enough to save him. Yeah, there should be like 5 potions on this point right now. Generally, when you're kind of playing this way. See what happens, though. Kael'thas looking for the big flame strike. Good dodge there by ReGen Phoenix. Goes in for the spear on the G-Money Drums. Does miss, but G-Money Drums takes a licking of damage. Mei goes in, gets the finish. She turned it sideways. It's a kill shot. Tank still wanted to follow up, but just died so fast. And ReGen Phoenix going to get initial control of this point, and now looking to steal this camp. They have 4, and with 2 dead, that means they have the numbers advantage. Thrall is at least going to see this, but there's nothing he can do except watch the turret go and wave it goodbye. And that is the cap, and that is the first objective. 4.5 minutes, that's pretty quick. And this will certainly give ReGen Phoenix the advantage heading into level 10. But they're not done. They're going to push this top wall. Obviously, it's common to look for this well. Mei with some good zoning. Doing some good damage here onto the Kael'thas. Kael'thas has the gravity lapse to buy space. Meanwhile, this Protector down to about 25% health. Some rubies out. Joanna going to look to engage. Turn around, tries to find Darker Black with the punch. Doesn't get it. A little bit of living bomb spread here. Need to be careful. But now, rather close to level 10. Greymane currently away soaking, as you do have Imperius in the Triglav Protector. And does break out now. So with that, getting back to the rotations, but level 10 is here in just a second. There we go. See what we get. Do we get that Ice Wall? Or the Avalanche. It is the Avalanche. Mei goes in. Kael'thas extremely low, but they don't get the finish. Or do they? There it goes. Now going to be able to turn their attention onto the objective. Good job locking 10s quickly, looking for an opportunity to get the kill. And that will allow them to continue to control this map, control the tools. They have only not had one of the turrets picked up. They have picked up every other tool on the map that has been possible to be picked up. Next turret is going to be up in 37 seconds. So we'll see if RGP makes a play for that as well. Level 10's now here for both teams. So it's Angelic Armaments coming out from Imperius. Got Wave of Force, Avalanche, Cursed Bullet, and Nano Boost. All pretty much what we expected. On the other side, Hyperion. It's going to be a Sunder, though, to try and get some extra engage. Sunder, Blessed Shield, Phoenix, and Stay a While and Listen from the Deckard. Mudge trying to disrupt rotations, just be annoying. Keep dismounting people. They're also going to bot. About a level lead now for RGP. They thought about looking for the engage. Spear, great unstoppable there by Tanksta, though. Living Bomb onto Mudge. Does a good job disarming it. Raynor trying to poke in. Looking potentially at the Rainer engage. Nope, he gets away from the Li Ming orb. Tanksta with the blind there. Now pressuring up is RGP. They don't have 13 yet, but they do have numbers up here. Thrall is taking the turret in the bot. Once again, a great unstoppable by Tanksta. Prevents the death. Mudge could drop turret if they really want to go for this. But they aren't going to pull the trigger. They want to save turret for the objective. Mudge actually standing still for a bit there. Now in a bit of a risky spot. Thrall goes into the back. Good dodge there by Mudge. But there's the Bless Shield with the Sunder Flank. And that's going to secure the kill onto May. But Joanna does go down. There's the Stay Wild and Listen. Puts Darabo in a bad spot. He's going to fall. Arrow trying to get the turnaround kill. G-Money jumps is so low. Does have the breaker there to get away. And Imperius goes down as well. And that is a 3-for-1. Can they get Arrow? Gravity Lash just slightly off target there. Arya doing a good job avoiding it. Excuse me, Arya, not Arrow. And that will be an opportunity now for Wholesome Halfwits to get back into this game. Fairly even on kills. They now have a slight XP lead. Structures obviously favoring the team that had the Triglav, but not dramatically so. No forts down yet. The only big difference, no well. Over here, we have a well instead. So, keeping an eye on this. Here comes the rotation in. Thrall on the flank. Does not have Sunder yet. 15 seconds. Mudge goes in. They're trying to lock down Key. Key's in definitely an awkward spot. Oh, the snowball. Just that delay on the skill shot is a little bit too much. Big root into the Condemn. May has to blow the ice block. Now down to about half health here. They're going to need to walk away, but they do have control of the point for the time being, at least. That's going to help them tick, and they can, of course, drop back, grab the taps, and re-engage. On the other side, you just got to wait for Stukov's healing to come through. Or not Stukov, excuse me, Deckard. Deckard, though, with that Ancient Blessings, is a great tool. I think it was blown in that last fight, though. There's a spear onto Imperius on the flank as they engage on the front line of Skathar. Skathar tries to one away. The sleep dart hits at the last second, buying Rapid Penguin just enough time to get that finish. And Darabo, with the help of Imperius, gets the kill onto Joe and finds the kill onto Rainer as well. And that will be ReGen Phoenix asserting that, no, they're still winning this game. Now they're going to be able to take this top fort as well. May is able to walk away and soak this. This is a big win for ReGen Phoenix, and they could start the snowball off of this. Imperius channeling the 0.5%. Here it goes. And now once again grabbing the healing camp. It will be their third of the game. And here comes the Triglav Protector. Anna going to hop in. They're going to look, see if they can get this mid fort. May goes in, looking at Darker Black. Darker Black does walk away from that. Turns around to throw out a Flame Strike, but that fort is down. And ReGen Phoenix just asserting at this point that they think they're the better team. Now that said, we've seen big leads like this before in this series twice. The other team has come back before the team ahead eventually closed the door. Will that happen here? Very, very aggressive flank here. Extremely aggressive flank. They do have their ults. They're looking for Darabo. Can they get the big Sunder? Snowball gonna zone Thrall out. They get Li Ming down. This Triglav Protector still very healthy, not in danger of dying. Mudge trying to rotate away to safety and does get there. So that big flank does at least secure a kill, and it does save this bottom fort for the time being. See if they can maintain that.
So that is the extent of the Protector's power. Impressive.
So Protector does help them secure the middle fort. Top fort already dropped. They get the wall bottom, but not much else. Top lane gonna get cleaned up. 16 is here for ReGen Phoenix. They can invade this turret. They're taking their own first, playing this safe. 16 almost here, though, for Wholesome Halfwits. Are they going to contest this or go for their own turret? Looks like they are. Li Ming is back up, running her way in. We could get a fight over this. May is down here towards the bottom. Rainer starts to work on this camp. It doesn't look like RGP wants to pull the... RGP, excuse me, wants to pull the trigger. With 16 now tied for both teams. They're all going with that stacking Q slow. It's going to enable them to hopefully lock down some more people for the side of Wholesome Halfwits. As well as get some additional damage out. But now, May, kind of caught out mid, does get interrupted out of her slide, but she has movement speed, so she's just going to walk right on away there. Right now, this is kind of that awkward point of Volskaya where the teams tend to play around each other. There's no camp to be taken, although the heal camp is up in 10. Try to play around each other, get push value in the opposite lane when they can. They're going for the bottom. The rest of the team, though, is here. A big Sunder could put Greymane in a bad spot. Does get the Sunder. Don't know if they push in the right direction, but they managed to engage onto the Ana, and now May's having a hard time getting out, and she's going to go down thanks to the help of that Ancient Blessings. And now the chase is on. Angelic Armaments comes out to truck out some damage to throw them back, but this should enable Wholesome Halfwits to grab that heal camp, as well as clean up this camp in the top lane. They're all cleaning up the middle here. Keep in mind, folks, we have another match. We are not done after this game. As we head over to A West, forge the winning condition versus Fox and his carries. Had to remind myself of that one. Should be a big matchup, a Division A kind of night. We'll see if we get another best of 3. Camp pushing into the top. Wholesome Halfwits start going for the heal camp. ReGen Phoenix, recognizing that, they're just going to go ahead and take this fort. They have that opportunity. Thrall needs to clean up the top lane. ReGen Phoenix will get the early channel progress here, but we're not going to have level 20 from either team. That said, a huge structure lead at the moment in favor of ReGen Phoenix. They have bonus cata pressure in every lane. And you can see here they come in the top and mid. They're going to take their turret. Here comes the members of Wholesome Halfwits. Spear in the back, finds Rainer isolated, and he goes down. May is also stunned. There's the Bless Shield, but Tanksta is low, and Tanksta is going to... Oh, the sleep comes in, and that is going to save Joanna. Skathar in the back line trying to make something happen, but he will drop Key. Is he going to get out of there? Drops the healing totem. No, he does not. Can Li Ming find this kill onto Joanna? She doesn't yet. Now turning her attention onto Darker Black. Huge chunk damage, and there's the Calamity to secure the kill. And ReGen Phoenix finds 4, and that may be just what the doctor ordered, as they can take turret, and they can start pushing up bot to prep the lane for this Triglav Protector as they look to end this series and find their first win of the season over Wholesome Halfwits. Remember, the winner of this game takes the series. They still only get 2 points. They don't get the coveted 3 because there was no domination. But it certainly would be a boon to ReGen Phoenix. And as we talk about, I think both these teams... both these teams could excel, but I think most likely we'll see these teams kind of in the lower end of playoff qualification. I think ReGen Phoenix has a higher ceiling, though. But in either case, this game could be very, very relevant come playoff time. The keep goes down. Here comes the Triglav Protector. In this situation, with the Greymane and the Triglav, you could, in theory, just try to right-click the core to death. They want to keep the Greymane out for his siege damage and his burst potential. They also want the Imperius out for the burst as well. Joe just trying to bait a bit. ReGen Phoenix hasn't stepped up for this core yet. There's the spear onto Kael'thas. Follow-up damage, didn't really look for it. Raynor throws out the Hyperion on the side. Tanksta in a bit of an awkward spot. Sunder buying space, but it is the Triglav and Greymane on the court. Deckard gets snowballed out of the avalanche. The shields are down. Greymane doing what damage he can. Joe and Kael'thas trying to disrupt. Here comes the Deckard Root. Catches Greymane. Greymane goes down, but the core is down to 30, and the Triglav Protector has enough health. This will be it, and ReGen Phoenix is going to take game number 3, and they will win this series. Congratulations to them on that victory. Well, we're going to see if we can do a post-game interview. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay tuned, and thank you for watching. All right, ReGen Phoenix takes the 2-1 victory. I am joined by the captain Arrow and the tank Mudge of the victorious ReGen Phoenix. Guys, how you feeling after that series?
It was that was an intense series.
Absolutely.
I have to say that I'm never gonna say that a blowout isn't fun because it is fun to just be like, "Hi, you're dead." But these kind of games where uh, that was a clearly very evenly matched series, it makes it just an absolute joy to play.
Yeah, it was a very close series, especially game 1 and 2. Obviously, game 3, you guys managed to get a lot more done there. There were some moments, but otherwise a much more controlled game. Game 1, you guys take it to Towers of Doom. You get that big lead, 24-8, pretty late off the triple shrine phase, getting those 15 or maybe even more points in. I think you got the 3 sappers in as well. But then at that point, they Wholesome Halfwits managed to reel it back a bit. What happened to enable them to kind of come back on that Towers of Doom game, do you think?
Well, I actually would say it was more patience because what we did with Towers of Doom there is we let it kind of we had such a big lead that we knew we had a lot of room to work with, and so we just played patiently, played to 20 because that's where we knew we had the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, I mean, you guys ultimately closing that out. It did get down to 4-7, so I imagine there was a little bit of sweating, but you still had obviously that single shrine phase at the end. It was definitely a win condition for you guys. Taking it to Infernal Shrines, they break out the Varian Stukov, and they go for the Silence Roots, and they're very effective early. You guys seem to counter them better late. What was leading to the counters that prevented those late engages from just becoming pick-off fests?
I mean, ultimately, that game, I think that if we play early game, the 4 to 10 range a little bit better, I think we can actually win that because a lot of those fights late in the game were going in our favor, and it was just an adjustment to our style. We said, okay, Murden's just gonna die, so how do we prevent this from happening? And the big answer to that was, well, let's have a blaze stun right up in their face, and then they can't move and they take a bunch of damage, and and that really worked for most of it. But I mean, that comp was terrifying.
Yeah.
Every single bush was potentially death for anybody that went through it. So it was a real tough challenge. And we discussed it afterwards. We have some ideas on how we address that in the future, and the key ingredient was to just make sure that they didn't get Stukov again.
Yeah, the key has long been known as a Stukov player. You were going to add something, Mudge? Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say the other thing that really helped, at least because I was the guy constantly dying, I'd just be in lane like, all right, someone's got to step up here and get in range to soak these XP orbs up, I'm dead. And it's like, once I was able to get Avatar and I was able to get Hardened Shield and some other buttons that make me not die instantaneously, that also helped.
Yeah, it definitely helped you. You got a lot sturdier there. I think you guys I think the wise decision you mentioned was having Blaze kind of charge in, just because if you can disrupt Stukov or disrupt the follow-up damage, that combo is a lot harder to pull off, especially when Stukov gets very exposed pulling it off. But that said, Key is a hell of a Stukov player. I remember we argued over who was the better Stukov back in Season 5. Right now, I'd very much say it's him. But with that, Game 3, Volskaya Foundry, you guys go with first pick. Fight for the first time you had the choice, you went first pick, obviously. Here's my first question. Was it going to be Cho'Gall?
The answer to that question is maybe.
All right, that's actually the best answer to give for the sake of scouting, so well done.
I mean, we certainly discussed it, but whether or not we specifically were going to go that route, I think that as we saw how things were shaping up, we decided, maybe that's not the direction we want to go.
Mm-hmm.
I almost argued for it, but then they banned it, so it didn't have to be an argument.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that now, you guys get back to 500 on the season. Find yourselves 3-3 after week 1. coming off that 1-2 loss to Careless Badgers. Last season, and this is not meant to rub salt in the wound, but last season you guys barely missed playoffs. Given that, what do you think you need to do as a team to make sure that not only you're not barely missing playoffs, but you're putting yourself in a position to advance? And do you think you're doing those things?
I'm going to answer that one, Mudge. So at the beginning of last season, we, before our first match, had a meeting and we kind of said, what is our plan? What's our goal? What are we trying to do this season? And as a group, we kind of just said, let's just play and have fun. So that was kind of reflected in our positioning. I was kind of hoping that maybe we could play and have fun and get 8th place, but we may have let the fun get a little too much in the way there. This season, we're a little bit more interested in actually putting in, some more serious effort. And, part of that is that Mudge and I swapped roles. We have different play styles in tank and solo laner. And so, I thought that maybe it would be a good idea to try things out and put Mudge right up in the front line and let him take all the BS variant taunt blow up combos rather than me having to deal with it.
Yep, it's been different for sure. Going from the solo lane to the tank, because now you have to take care of people and also everything's on your back. Whereas before, I just got to come in from the solo lane screaming into the team fight and just cause as much chaos as possible. And now I have responsibilities. So
he's handed the mantle of Sonya over to me, and oh, is it glorious! I hated Sonya until 2 weeks ago, and now I'm so in love.
Yeah, she's really sticky and really feeling good right now. By the way, I'm going to apologize because when you watch this cast at the end, it's actually going to be, because of the way Soothsayer works, it's going to be the wrong arrow.
I was really confused. I was like, I've not played any of those heroes.
So it's the other arrow who came in late in the season and played assassin, and there's not a filtering mechanic because it just searches for the first person based on name. It doesn't do battle ID. So that's just Falendrith, please. Anyway,
it's all good. They probably have better stats than I had.
So. Well, with that, congrats on the win. Hope to see you guys continue to improve this season. Can't wait to see what you guys do next. Sure, it feels good after, I don't know if you watch 323 Weekly, but Key put you guys down a tier below them. And don't think he can do that anymore for you guys. But with that, we will see you guys again, hopefully, this season. Always fun to cast, especially Arrow. You put on a good show, so I try to do the same. And with that, we will draw this part of the evening to a close as I get set up and jump straight into a coin flip. Last second shout-outs. Go ahead.
Just want to shout out RGP, all of my good buddies here, and the ReGen organization, and my good friend Katrien, who is watching. Appreciate you stopping by. Mudge?
Yeah, I'll give a shout-out to Murder, because that guy is too awesome, does too much for no pay for all of us, and also to Mudlord, because he's a great hammer to play with.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a 8.5-minute break while I get set up for the second match of the evening. It's going to be Forge the Winning Condition versus Fox and his carries. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone, and thank you for watching.